Hi, family. Welcome to the Phenomenal African Woman channel. I hope you guys are actually snuggling and keeping warm. Joburg is incredibly cold, but I believe my hometown, Cape Town, is also is equally cold. But I also think that it is just that way in other areas of the country anyway. So you guys must just stay safe and keep warm. I thought let me just have a conversation around what moves you as a person, especially like pertaining to where we actually find ourselves right now with COVID-19. Oh my God, like I don't think anybody actually anticipated the gravity of the situation that we're actually in right now. And I think sometimes we are so self-absorbed, and rightfully so, because we're trying to survive. To a point where we are thinking how we're gonna stay afloat. And I actually had an encounter recently where I really had to think about, people that are actually without and are not able to actually have the means, whether it's to eat and whether it's to sleep. I was thinking the other day, I was, getting into bed. It was so cold. It was incredibly freezing. And I literally just had this thought in my mind about people that actually sleep outside. And my heart sank because I couldn't imagine myself, you being outside and sleeping outside in the current state of the weather. It's winter, but it's incredibly cold. So it's challenged me, I think, as a person to think about what actually moves me. When a seed is planted in my mind, do I do something about it, or do I let it fester in there and not do anything about it? Look, I'm a firm believer that God sometimes plants things or people in your mind that you probably need to reach out to them, or you need to do something. The little that you can. It doesn't actually have to be financial, because some of us think that in order to actually do good, we have to have money. And sometimes people literally just want an ear. Sometimes people just want support. Sometimes people just want mere encouragement. Sometimes people just want you to be there and not necessarily give them money. And of course, if you do have money to buy certain things or to help them here and there, then of course. And I think I've gotten to a stage in my life where the meaning of life is beyond who I am and what I'm able to do for myself, but what I'm actually able to do for others out there. And it's then for this very reason that I encountered this wonderful lady who is a principal of a creche in Kibla Park. Super excited. We're doing our bit, okay? Challenging you as well to do your bit. Yeah, so then I got this request to basically be involved in assisting this lady, who's a principal from Kibla Park. And smack bang in the middle of, COVID, they were faced with a challenge whereby she couldn't actually pay school fees for teachers, and, the kids didn't actually have much to eat as a result of that, because I think they mostly are dependent on, obviously, parents to pay school fees, and because parents were either laid off or they simply just didn't have the means, to pay school fees at the time. And immediately, when this friend of mine actually approached me with this, I really had this unction, deep down in my soul that says, or that said rather, that you need to actually do something. And it was really not about, I was a little bit conflicted because I didn't know what to do, to be honest. And so I went and I reached out. I even said yes. I didn't even know how I was going to do it, but I said yes, I'm available to help, with anything. And and that's why I want us to talk about, I want to talk to you guys rather about what actually moves you. When something actually moves you, do you actually do something about it, or do you just let it fester and just keep it and not actually do anything about it? It's made me realize that like there are people that are worse off than what we are, and we tend to, sit in our own situations and think we are in the most horrible places and we are worse off. But there are people that literally don't have anything to eat, that can't make ends meet at all. And I promise you, like a mere loaf of bread, going into the shop and buying a loaf of bread, if you have, for that person, makes a mountain of a difference. But it's really just being very intentional about why you're actually doing it. And so I went and I visited this principal. In fact, I actually went with my brother, and we went to buy like groceries, a whole host of groceries, for, the staff members who were not getting paid. And when we went to drop them off, I promise you, man, the reception that we actually got and just understanding, the good that we're able to do to other people was just so incredible.
Because obviously as an NPO, you are depending.
Exactly.
You have that,
Yes.
Even now, with the
benefits and incentive programs focused on the well-being of our frontline associates in China. And as we all know, when we think back to the end of December, early January, that's when COVID really impacted China. And so thank you very much, Louisa. Dolly actually used her own funds to provide groceries for a daycare center to assist teachers and children who otherwise would have gone without food at this time. So, going above and beyond, not only just using her regular day job to make considerable impact, but really making sure that she's extending to the community. So, Dolly, thank you very much for everything that you've done. Garrett.
good. Oh, but I'm taking the blessing and believe me, I love.
And this was done obviously on behalf of Phenomenal African Women, as an NGO, and not because of anything else. But I think what we embody as Phenomenal African Women is really just encouraging, other women, and I think recently males as well, to reach their desired goals and dreams without, yielding to limitations or even barriers that they may come across. I'm a firm believer that sometimes when we almost hit things that seem as if they're stumbling blocks, that's an opportunity to actually progress and thrive beyond your wildest imagination. And that's what this channel is about, really. It's really just about finding those gems out there, people that are not necessarily celebrities, but who are doing great things in their communities. And therefore, we had to answer that call as Phenomenal African Women and embody what we're actually talking about. I was nervous because then I wanted to share, and not because I wanted to boast about anything that we had done as an organization, but I really just wanted other people to see the impact that we are making in other people's lives, yes, but and also for people to see the fact that we were moved with the little that we have, we were able to assist, and the fact that life is beyond just focusing on us, we really just need to try and focus on other people that actually do need us. Like I said, I mean, it could be something quite immaterial, at least to you, but to that person it may be significantly material. So I guess I really just wanted to chat and just show you guys the work that we did around Phenomenal African Women, with this creche at Kibla Park. and really just challenge your thought process in your mind to say what actually moves you, you know. So when there's that thing inside of you that says that you need to help somebody else, you know, do you just brush it off, or do you actually try and do something about it and look and see beyond yourself? I think it's made me a more peaceful person, to be honest, understanding and knowing that our mandate in life and in this life is not really only about us, but it's really just about also touching other people's lives in the smallest ways as we can. I mean, I know that there are people that look at others and they like, oh my God, it's because they have. Like I said, I mean, it doesn't have to be financial. Your experience that you may have gone through may be of value to somebody else. So your testimony about what you've gone through in terms of your experience may be something that I would want to hear and learn from. I believe that all of us are gems. We've got gifts and talents, and we can use them in incredible ways. We just need to be able to tap into them and be able to find ways of sharing, you know, that intellect with other people. I actually see our gifts as commodities. I do, really, because they have an ability not only to stretch us as people, but to really just show other people that God is amazing and he's able to do amazing things in our lives because, you know, he's able to touch people through us. So, yeah, I mean, so let's look at the video. This is Umasi, and she was incredibly chuffed, man. She was so happy. And I must say, you know, my brother and I, you know, as we were driving back home after doing this, we just felt like we just wanted to do more. And therefore, that's what actually moved us. So that's why I'm asking, you know, think about what actually moves you as a person, and think and almost realize the fact that your situation is not always worse off. You know, yes, we are in turbulent times and challenging times, but there are people that are so much worse off than what we are. And if we have the means and avenues to be able to help them, we need to be able to try and actually do so. Stay warm and stay safe. And I hope that you actually do hear, you know, some of my recent experience with this crash, and think about what actually moves you and take that very small step to actually help somebody else out financially or even non-financially for that matter. And see, you know, the great value that you can actually add by touching another person's life. So stay safe. I love you guys. And yes, I'll see you guys and I'll chat to you guys soon in another episode of our Phenomenal African Woman Insert. Take care.